Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope we're doing great today. Happy Sunday. Big slate of NFL games today, guys. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Working our way to 23.7K subs. Keep up the good work. Check out all my betting links in the description below to get in on the action. And yeah, we'll hop in it here. Remember today, guys, there's a lot of meaningless games. So be wary if you're going to bet on them. You got to know which games are important, which games are not, because there's going to be a lot of backups playing today. So pretty much how I always do it. Any games where, teams are resting their starters, I'm not touching those games because we have nothing to go off of. We've never seen these backups play. We don't know what they're going to look like. A lot of times, it's not that great, and it's sloppy football. So I only really bet on the meaningful games. So just be wary of that. Check the injury reports. First game, we got the Buffalo Bills versus the New England Patriots. Bills opening up as a 3.5-point road favorite with the over-under at 36.5. Bills coming into this matchup 13-3. The Patriots 3-13. This is another one. Patriots. Bills are resting everybody. It does say Josh Allen is going to start the game to get the longest active streak of consecutive starts, but I bet he's only going to play like a play or two. And then, you got Buffalo. They're already locked in, so they're focused on the playoffs. They're coming off a dominating Jets win. They just played the Patriots 2 games ago, beat them by 3. Patriots. Yeah, rough year for New England. They're on a 6-game losing streak. Bad game against the Chargers. This year, though, they've been in a lot of competitive games. You look at the numbers. Buffalo is very good against New England, although they're just 5-15 on the road against New England here. I just look at the overset in 5 of the last 7. I just think without Josh Allen and they're resting everybody, Patriots I think are a solid play today. I like Drake May at home. I think they do good against the Bills backups, and I think it's a good line for the Patriots. Sneak a win at the very end, or keep it close. This is what's tough here too, guys. You got teams that we don't know if they're trying to tank for the pick for the last, for a top 3 pick, because you got a lot of teams that are 2-13, 3-13. So I don't know what the mindset's going to be, but I'm just betting on that they're going to go out and play football. Give me the Patriots plus 3.5 at home. Next matchup, we got the Carolina Panthers versus the Atlanta Falcons. Falcons opening up as a 7.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 48.5. Panthers coming into this matchup 4-12. Falcons 8-8. Atlanta 6-4 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. This is actually a meaningful game here. Atlanta needs to win. They have to win, and Tampa has to lose for them to clinch the division. And then I think Tampa just has to win today. So big game for Atlanta. They got to control what they can control. They got to win today. Carolina coming off a bad Tampa Bay loss. Atlanta, they're coming off a Washington loss. Carolina 6-2 covering the spread, though. They haven't been that good against Atlanta. Atlanta just 1-5-1 covering the spread here. Yeah, this one's tough. I mean, it's a must-win for Atlanta. I think the Panthers are going to give them some trouble here. We haven't seen... Penix has been fine moving the ball, but he hasn't been throwing touchdowns, really. He's been okay. He hasn't been bad. He hasn't really been turning the ball over. Yeah, I think he had one interception last game, but I don't know. I mean, the Carolina, they've been competitive. They've been bad, but they've been competitive. They can score with Bryce Young, so I don't know. Atlanta, they got to watch out today. I mean, I think Carolina would love to ruin their playoff chances. So, yeah, I'm going to take a shot with the Panthers plus 7.5 on the road today. It just feels like a spot where Atlanta might screw up and ruin their season. Next matchup, we got the Chicago Bears versus the Green Bay Packers. Packers opening up as a 10-point home favorite with the over-under at 41. Bears coming into this matchup 4-12. The Packers 11-5. Packers, it's a somewhat meaningful game for them because they're tied with the Commanders. I think it's seeding. If Washington loses, I think they would move ahead of them. But regardless, win or lose, Packers are still in the playoffs. It all just depends on seeding. If they lose them, or it depends on who they'll play, win or lose. Bears, they've lost their last 10. They lost by 1 point against the Packers last time these two met. Chicago, they're coming off a 3-point game. Very disappointing. Packers coming off a tough Minnesota loss. The Bears 0-10 against the Packers, 0-9 on the road, 0-5 covering on the road against the Packers. The numbers are brutal for Chicago here. I like the Packers here. I think they get it done, win this game, move into the playoffs with some positivity here. I just don't trust this Bears team offensively to head into Lambeau. I just don't know if I could trust them. Give me Packers minus 9.5 and money line at home today. Next matchup, we've got the Houston Texans versus the Tennessee Titans. Titans opening up as a 1.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 36.5. Texans coming into this matchup 9-7. The Titans 3-13. Yeah, it says the Texans are reportedly planning to play their starters on Sunday. We'll see. Them being underdogs today leads me to believe that they're probably not. So I don't know what I believe there. Houston, I mean, they're coming off the worst game probably in history. I mean, they lost 31-2 against Baltimore on Christmas. They have not really looked strong coming into the playoffs here. They are locked in, but they haven't looked very strong. Titans on a 5-game losing streak. Been tough for the Titans because they've played pretty solidly, but the offense has been pretty bad. Titans, the numbers are bad just all across the board. I don't know. I just don't have a feeling Houston's going to be playing their players. Otherwise, I feel like they would be favorites. I mean, they should be favorites here. So this line's very sketchy to me. I don't think they're going to be playing their guys. Give me Titans minus 1.5 and money line at home today. Next matchup, we got the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Indianapolis Colts. Colts opening up as a 3-point home favorite with the over-under at 45. Jaguars coming into this matchup 4-12. The Colts 7-9. Head-to-head Jags 7-3 in the last 10 head-to-head meetings. 8-2 covering the spread. Jaguars, they're coming off a Titans win. The Colts, they're coming off a Giants loss. This is a meaningless game. Doesn't really matter for anything. Jags tend to always spoil Colts a win towards the end of their season. Colts always find a way to lose to the Jags at the end of the season here. They're 5-1 against the Colts, 8-2 covering against the Colts here. I'm liking the plus points with the Jaguars. I don't know. I'm not in love with the Colts. Give me Jags plus 3.5 on the road today. Next matchup, we got the New York Giants versus the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles opening up as a 2.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 37. Giants coming into this matchup 3-13. The Eagles 13-3. Yeah, we know the news here that they're pretty much resting Saquon. Could very well beat the record against the Giants. Kind of disappointed that he's not going to be playing. Philly resting all their players. They've already secured their division. They're locked in, so they're going to be resting everybody. Giants coming off a 45-33 win against the Colts. A very surprising win from the Giants. That's their first win in like 3 months. It's crazy for the Giants. Eagles coming off a big Dallas win. Giants 1-6 against Philly, 0-11 on the road against the Eagles here. We've seen, I'm assuming it's going to be Kenny Pickett. He's been okay. He looked okay. Played against Dallas. Played fine. So I think they'll be all right for a game here. I just don't trust the Giants, especially on the road, even playing their starters. I don't know if I could. I'd much rather still take the Eagles, even though the rest of their players, I'm not really no incentive or anything to bet on the Giants. I know they're trying to lose so they can maintain a top pick. So give me Eagles minus 2.5 and money line at home today. Next matchup, we got an important game. We got the New Orleans Saints versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Bucks opening up as a 14-point home favorite with the over-under at 45. Saints coming into this matchup 5-11. The Bucks 9-7. Yeah, big game for the Bucks. If they win this, they can win their division. So I think they're going to be extra try hard today. Saints, they're on a 3-game losing streak coming off a Vegas loss. The offense has been bad. They scored 10 points in 2 games. It's just not good for the Saints. All the injuries this season, a rough year for them. Tampa Bay coming off a dominating Carolina win, 48-14. They're 1-4 covering the spread. Tampa 6-2 covering the spread here. Yeah, I love Tampa Bay. I think they dominate today. Also, if you guys are betting, they got some incentives. Mike Evans needs the 85 yards to get an incentive, so look for him to be active today. And I believe he might need a touchdown too. Baker might need some stuff. So a lot of incentives in play today. Make sure you look at those as well for some potential nice hits today. Yeah, taking the Bucks, dominating game. They want to get this done so they can lock down their division. Give me Bucks minus 13.5 and money line at home today. Next matchup, we got the Washington Commanders versus the Dallas Cowboys. Washington opening up as a 6.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 44. Washington coming into this matchup 11-5. The Cowboys 7-9. Yeah, a Commanders win today locks up the 6th seed and prevents a wild card matchup with Philly. So yeah, they definitely want to play. They don't have to play the Eagles. Washington, they're coming on a 4-game winning streak. They're coming off an Atlanta win. Dallas, remember they lost to Dallas 34-26. Remember that game? That game was insane. We'll see what kind of game we get here. Dallas, they're coming off a 41-7 loss against the Eagles. Washington, they've struggled against Dallas, 1-6 against Dallas, but they're 10-4-1 covering the spread. Dallas 2-8 covering at home. I just think Washington's got a lot to play for, and they were in a rough game against Dallas last time they met. I like them to bounce back. They got momentum here. They definitely wanted to avoid that matchup with the Eagles. I like the Commanders minus 6.5 and money line on the road today. Next matchup, we've got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Denver Broncos. Denver opening up as a 10.5 point home favorite with the over-under at 40. Chiefs coming into this matchup 15-1. Denver 9-7. Yeah, this is a game. Obviously, the Chiefs, they're resting everybody. So, yeah, and then Denver, if they win this game, they're in the playoffs. You've seen the scenarios. If they lose and Miami loses, Bengals are in. If Denver loses and Miami wins, Miami's in. So, yeah, and it's kind of crazy because Broncos, they're getting a very easy scenario for them. It's the NFL. We don't know what's going to happen. But they're getting this handed to them on a silver platter, playing a Chiefs team, resting their whole team. So yeah, Chiefs, we know how good they've been. They're resting their guys today. Don't need to really talk about the Chiefs. Denver, bad 2-game losing streak. They could have just already been locked into the playoffs, but lost to the Bengals and the Chargers. Lost to the Chiefs 16-14 last time. I mean, they got to come in and beat this Chiefs team. And be pretty dominant if they want to make the playoffs. So I expect a very try-hard Denver team. I think the defense will be good. I think we got Carson Wentz at quarterback. Could be interesting today for the Chiefs. We're going to see what happens here. Hasn't really played any football this year, though. So I got to roll with Denver. I just don't love the Chiefs without any of their guys. It'd be different if the Chiefs were starting everybody, but they're not. So I think a big Denver win here. I think they get it done. Going to buy a point. It's a must win for Denver, so I think the D's going to get some stops today and make it easy on the offense. Give me Denver minus 9.5 and money line at home today. Next matchup, we got the Los Angeles Chargers versus the Vegas Raiders. Chargers opening up as a 6.5 point road favorite with the over-under at 42. Chargers coming into this matchup 10-6. The Raiders 4-12. Yeah, the Chargers, I believe it could be seeding here. Yeah, so I believe it's seeding. So I think that's why the Chargers are probably going to be playing everybody because they can move up a little bit if they win today. Chargers, they're already locked into the playoffs, though. They're coming off a Patriots win 40-7. Vegas, they're on a 2-game winning streak coming off a Saints win. Chargers 8-2 covering in their last 10, 5-1 covering on the road. Vegas, I don't know. I'm just looking at this. I don't really love Vegas here. I like the Chargers. Have a little bit to play for as far as seeding goes. So they definitely want to win here. And I think Jim Harbaugh already said, they want to keep the momentum going. They want to win their games. So they're going to play everybody. Give me Chargers -6.5 and money line on the road today. Next matchup, we've got the Miami Dolphins versus the New York Jets. Both teams in a pick'em scenario at -110 with the over-under at 38.5. Dolphins coming into this matchup 8-8. The Jets 4-12. Miami, if they win, they're in the playoffs with a Denver loss. But no Tua. It's going to be Tyler Huntley at quarterback. Yeah, tough situation for Miami, but hey, they just got to win, control their own destiny. They're on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a 20-3 win against Cleveland. Jets on a 2-game losing streak, coming off a 40-14 loss against Buffalo. A big game for Miami. They need to win and Denver to lose, which is going to be tough because I don't think Denver's going to lose to the Chiefs today. So we'll see what happens, but I just don't think that's going to happen. But Miami, nonetheless, they got to control what they can control, so they need to win. 8-1 against the Jets, 10-3 covering against the Jets, where they've been really good. Yeah, I mean, I got to take Miami. I just feel like, this Jets D is probably the worst defense ever, so I think they'll be all right just running it with Achane. Maybe do some screens for Tyreek, take a couple shots, but yeah, I like Miami. I think I'm not really concerned with the Jets offense, so give me Miami money line on the road with a must-win game for them today. Next matchup, we got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Cardinals opening up as a 4.5-point home favorite with the over-under at 43. 49ers coming into this matchup 6-10. The Cardinals 7-9. This is a meaningless game. Both teams out of the playoffs, so nothing really matters here. San Francisco on a 3-game losing streak, coming off a Detroit loss. Arizona, they're coming off a Rams loss. Yeah, it looks like probably Joshua Dobbs will be the quarterback, who played pretty well the last game. I don't know. This is an ugly matchup. I like the points with the Niners here. They've 4-1 against Arizona, 4-1 covering against Arizona here, with nothing to play for. Yeah, give me Niners +4.5 on the road today. Next matchup, we got the Seattle Seahawks versus the Los Angeles Rams. Seattle opening up as a 7-point road favorite with the over-under at 38.5. Seattle coming into this matchup 9-7. The Rams 10-6. I feel like the Rams are probably sitting everybody. Seattle, they're eliminated, but they're playing their starters. They're going to finish the season strong. Geno Smith has a incentive, so I feel like he's going to try and get that. Yeah, he has $6 million on the line if he can win while he and hits his passing yards and completion percentage. So a lot on the line for Geno, but Rams already locked into the playoffs. They're finished the season on a 5-game winning streak. Seattle coming off a 6-3 win against Chicago. But yeah, just a disappointing year from Seattle. Very talented, but they just had a lot of bad losses this year. But Rams going to be pretty much resting everybody. I like Seattle here. I think, they get a nice win to end their season and move on to next year. Rams locked in. Give me Seattle -6.5 and money line on the road today. And the last matchup, we got a really good one. We got the Minnesota Vikings versus the Detroit Lions. Detroit opening up as a 3-point home favorite with the over-under at 56.5. Vikings coming into this matchup 14-2. The Lions also 14-2. This is a big game because if Vikings win, Vikings win, I believe they win their division and get home field. So this is huge for the Vikings. And still a big game for Detroit. I can't remember what happens if Detroit wins. But I'm pretty sure it's a must-win for both teams. They want to lock up the number 1 seed, I believe. Could be wrong there, but I think it's the number 1 seed. Minnesota on a 9-game winning streak, coming off a Green Bay win. Detroit on a 2-game winning streak, coming off a San Francisco win. Yeah, this is big. A lot on the line for Minnesota. They definitely want that number 1 seed. 4-1 covering the spread. They're only just 1-5 against Detroit. They've struggled against Detroit here. Detroit, the overs hit in 6 of the last 6 between the two. No concern about the weather, so it's going to be great football for Sunday night. The only thing I'm concerned with Detroit, and that's why I'm worried about Detroit just not going far in the playoffs if they're going to, if they play a good team. That's why I can't take them as a Super Bowl team, because this defense for Detroit is probably the worst in the league, only based purely on injuries. They play hard, but man, if you watch a Detroit game, it is crazy how just the injuries have impacted their team. Anyone just drives down their throat. The Niners last week put up 34, Buffalo 48, Packers 31. I mean, since all the injuries the last month, the D has been horrible. It's been the offense carrying them, but they end up getting a stop or two in the games, but it could be pretty rough. And against Minnesota, who has a great defense already and a great offense, we're going to be in store for another shootout. I think the Vikings are the more complete team right now. If Lions had all their people healthy, I'd probably take the Lions, but I'm concerned about this defense. You got Sam Darnold playing MVP caliber football. Yeah, I think Justin Jefferson, gosh, I think he's going to have a day today. I got to take Vikings underdogs on the road. They can if they win this, they can get the number 1 seed. Yeah. Going to buy a half a point. Give me Vikings plus 3.5 on the road today. That's going to be it for the video. Good luck with your picks and parlays on Sunday. Hope you guys all cash out, and I'll see you guys Monday. Have a good one.